Hey Jane, good morning here. I was just gonna hop on and show you your design that I have for your living room. And so first we'll start off with the portion that I'm calling the couch half, where your couches are and the entertainment stand is. And so here is what I was thinking for above the love seat is this abstract mountain canvas. I know that we have talked about pulling out the rust because of the brick and stuff, but I thought it would be fun too to add a pop of color. And I was inspired by that chair that you have in the dining room for a little bit of that combination of the blues and the greens. So here is your living room, your artwork for above the love seat area. And then to the right of that I have this mirror that I was thinking for above the couch. Again, brings in a little bit of different texture with the metal, combining kind of the silvers and the blacks. But the mirrors are super nice for bouncing around light and really making the space brighter. And I know that was one thing that we talked about is how can we bring in some more light and maximize your light since we don't have really a lot of options with your ceiling. And then in the bottom here we have a rug. Again, pulls out those rust colors that we are after, but also all of the neutrals, the browns, the grays, the blacks. Just a little bit of pop of color, but pretty soft and simple. More on the lighter end because your couch is being that dark brown. I didn't want to have something that was dark and then kind of do the opposite of what we're after and keep things nice and bright. Still cozy, of course, but not feel like a man cave or a dungeon. And then to the left of your couch, and then the mirror will be above that. I was thinking to use that end table that you already have, the one with like the tile or the stone on top of it. And then this lamp could go on top of there. And then lastly, for the couch area, we have a couple pillows. The velvet ones add in that pop of blue-green out of the artwork. And then this other one is neutral, but just brings in another pattern. And I know in that corner right now where I was thinking of putting that end table, that suitcase, I'd really love to utilize that because it's a pop of color. You also have that plant there, so I was thinking of utilizing that also in the space. So there is the couch half of the living room. So for the other half, or the chair half, as I'm referring it to, I have these wall tiles that you have right now, and I was thinking those could go between the front door and the large window. And I just put them in a grid pattern that seemed to fit that space best. But then right below that I have this arc lamp, and one for lighting, one for lighting, but two to also it can go over top of their chair too, so if you're reading or any tasks that you're doing in there. So here are these two chairs. They're just black and white. Online you can see them a little bit better, just like the texture and stuff. I've sat on these in store. They're really comfy. I love that the light, or the fact that they can swivel, and so you could face the council table or whatever, or face the person across from you, or look out the window. That function is really nice. And then for between the chairs, I just have this little end table. Nothing crazy by any means, but just a little end table. I went with something round versus square, just to add in some more circle objects, just to balance out. There's so many rectangle or square objects throughout the space. And then from the end table, and I should note on that end table too, actually I did kind of a wood bottom on there, and that is to pull out that wood that you have with the entertainment stand too. And then for the rug, again, those same rust colors. It also has a lot, again, of the browns and blacks. One pulls out of the chairs, but the other black accents that I have, these rugs, they complement each other in the fact that they're in the same color palette, but they're different patterns, so they'll look really nice together. And my apologies there, I got interrupted. But anyhow, yes, like I said, this rug is pretty well all neutral, but again, just has that little bit of pop of color. And then for the council table up above here, just a wood council table, I chose something more with clothes storage. There's tons of options out there if you'd rather see something more with open storage so you could display items, but clothes is nice too because then it's a little bit more functional and whatever you put in there doesn't matter. And then above it, I just chose something round, kind of like I did with the end table, just to break up things with the rectangles and squares that we have going on everywhere. And this, I should note, will be on that brick wall too. And then again, just a lamp on there that matches the other lamp across the room so they talk with each other and pull the two areas together. And then I just threw some candlesticks on there for some height to balance out the lamp. But if you have something in mind too that you already own and you like to use, that would be perfectly fine too. And then to the left of there, I threw in this fiddly fig, one for a pop of just green, but two, really good for the environment, but also I wanted to pick something with height, and you talked about having plants in there too, but this this plant specifically, I wanted something with height. There's other options out there if you have something in mind that would just fill in that corner, but yeah, that is the chair area in the living room. And for the next slide, I'm jumping back to the couch half. Before you seen I had that abstract mountain canvas above the love seat, but I did find this other piece too. I wanted to see kind of what you thought about it, because the black is so more prevalent in it. It definitely feels a little bit more on the modern side and definitely a little bit harsher. Versus the other one, it just feels a little bit more airy and a little bit just less harsh, if that makes sense. But I do love the one on the left just because it combines all the colors that we have going on in the space. And for the next slide, I have the rugs. And so the one on the right and the one, or excuse me, man, I cannot do my directions today. The one on the left and the middle one are the two rugs that I already have in your space for you. But while I was looking in the same collection, this alternative option that I threw in is part of that same collection. But when you look on the website, it definitely does have orange in it, but it is not as in your face compared to the one that I placed. So you can look on the website and see what you think. Either of them will work really well in your space because we have plenty of neutrals going on. It just depends, just how much orange you want it to play off. Again, both of these ones on the outside for the couch area, they are lighter because your couches will be the darkness in that space because they are that dark brown. But yeah, either one of them would work. And then my last slide that I have for you is the dining room rug, and this is actually really, really pretty online. These images on the design board don't really do them justice, or as much as in person, but definitely a perfect combination of that orange and then that pop of green. It would totally pull out that chair that you have sitting next to the fireplace. So there is my ideas for mainly the living room, but then the dining room rug too. So next I threw together a floor plan for you so you can kind of see what the space will feel like, and then yeah, I will kind of walk you through that. Alright, so here's your floor plan. Sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. We just have a lot of commotion going on around here today. So anyhow, here's your floor plan, and I think you can see my mouse on here. Here's your front door when you walk in, and then that half wall. And as you can see, when we enter in here from the front door, kind of like I talked about, we have that first rug with the 2 chairs there on the south side, and then again just across from that council table. If you would like to see what it feels like with 2 chairs, that's definitely something or 2 more chairs, excuse me, that's definitely something that I can send to you. But when I was playing around with it, it definitely just felt a little bit too crowded, and had just seating after seating throughout the whole space. And so then, sorry, I had to pause it again. They're working right outside my window, so it's really loud with all this construction equipment. But anyhow, and then the next half you can see here with a little bit larger rug, just because that half is obviously a little bit larger. Again, your couch layout is exactly the same, and then I utilized that end table that you already had up in the top corner with that lamp on it. So now I will show you just in 3D so you can get a little bit better of how the space will feel. So here is the 3D of your space, and I apologize, this half wall is right in here when we look in, but I wanted you to know what the space felt like when you entered in from the front door. So you can see here I have that council table on the brick wall, and then the 2 chairs are over here with the lamp, and then you can see a little bit of those tiles over there in the corner. So I'm going to move it around here a little bit, just so you can get a little bit more direct on view. And so pretty similar to what your space feels like now, but just wanted you to feel a little bit of how it feels with that council table and those chairs in there. Try to rotate it up here a little bit. But yeah, you can kind of tell, like, the chairs would probably have came out to here, and again, it just felt a little bit too crowded, especially with this being a main walkway for you. But if that is something you would like to see, I can easily throw a couple chairs back on the floor plan, and it's just up to you how much you want to maximize your seating. And now that I'm thinking about it, another thing too that I should have thrown on your design boards and completely forgot until right now as I'm saying it, another thing we could do is throw in a couple of those poofs, if you know what I'm talking about, those kind of ottoman things. One, because you could use them as footrests for if you're sitting in them chairs, but they're also kind of nice because they can just tuck in like next to the council table or the entertainment stand. But then when you do have holidays or family over, then it provides extra seating for people. So if that is something that might interest you too, I can easily throw those on. So my apologies, I meant to do that, and now I'm just thinking about it. So I'll just kind of rotate this a little bit here, move it over here, and you can see a little bit more how those chairs feel. Just kind of a nice 3D, quick 3D, just to kind of give you an overall idea how the space will feel. And again, here I kind of talked about that. I know the camera's right here in front of the round art that I have above the council table. That's where the abstract art will go above the love seat, and then again that large mirror on the back, and that'll help bounce around light. So yes, that is what I have for you. I will get this uploaded today, and then you will be able to see it, I guess. So looking forward to hearing what you think. Thanks.